Hello besties, how are you all doing today? So today we're going to be doing something really freaking fun. As you can see, I'm standing in front of it right now. It's going to be a speed build of a path leading up to Santa's house, and we're also going to be decorating his lawn as well. It's just a fun build that I'm really happy for. I know we haven't done a speed build in a while, so I'm just really excited to get back into it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that you get inspired, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. We're going to be doing more fun speed builds, and we're also going to be, we just have fun on this channel, okay? So yes, I guess we're not going to make this intro too long, and let's just get into it, my friends. Alrighty, y'all. So here we are getting started. So to give you all an idea of how I got this inspiration, where I got these ideas from, so this island is going to be a resort core with the elements of kidcore over top of that. So it's going to be a lot of colors, a lot of festivities, a lot of toys, which I'm very freaking excited for. Not only because we haven't done a speed build in quite some time, I know guys, I'm slacking, but we're gonna get through it. But also just because I adore this theme. It's so different than anything that I've ever done before or ever wanted to do, so I'm just really excited for it. But these are the pictures that I am using as inspiration. So as you can see, it's kind of these plank walkways that branch off into little islands of buildings, which is what I'm doing for every house and what I will be doing for the neighborhood and things. But for Santa Claus, I did want to give him a little bit of a grander yard, and I am giving him a backyard, which I'm not doing for anybody else. So as you can see, I am putting this wooden pathway only halfway to the house because I did want it to mimic a porch kind of section for Santa Claus, and I did make obviously his pathway leading up to the house a lot bigger, a lot more windier than I am going to be doing for the other houses. But it's funny because me wanting to make it a little bit grander, I did want a direct kind of illumination to his yard by doing this little tiny entrance thing, which is going to be like, it looks like two doors opening to his yard. But I also wanted to put these giant ornaments on top of it. But the thing is that not only because it's a 2.0 item, but also because I've just never seen them in person, so I underestimated how big they were. And they're huge, which is great. We find use for them later on, but they're just a little bit too flashy for this top area, so I end up taking it down. But that's the thing about builds, guys, is that sometimes you have to test things to see if they work or not. And at the end of the day, I just took them down, and we just put them somewhere else. So yeah. So what's also funny about this build, guys, is so this border that I am going to be using around this path and around the rest of the path on the island, and some of these other little custom designs that I'm going to be putting over top of this. So I did an island tour for a girl named Kudo earlier this year, and I'm actually using some of her custom designs today, which I had absolutely no idea that they were hers. I just found them on Pinterest, and I just added them to my stuff, and they are so beautiful. I really love that she used the little string lights on the border, and it's just really fun. And I actually thought it contrasted really nicely with this path. I don't know if it's just because it's a neutral brown and it's very colorful, but I just think it gives a nice little pop. So that's what I'm doing here, just bringing some life to the path and giving it that little festive border that I thought that it needed. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually expanding Santa's yard just because I felt as if it wasn't big enough for all of the things that I wanted to do. To be able to have all the furniture to show that he's Santa Claus, and also I wanted to have, like, for example, the storage shed up here just for me personally, because while this is the illusion of being Santa's house, it is my house, guys, believe it or not. So I did want to have enough room for all of that. And also for, look at this, I wanted to be able to put the sleigh down, and I am going to be using the illuminated reindeer, which I think are incredibly beautiful, especially at night. So I'm just very, very excited to use them. But I just wanted to have enough room to put the big festive tree and enough gift piles and things like that that just, you know, bring that holiday vibe to his yard that I just really, really love about Christmas. So that's just what I'm doing here. Right here, so now I'm going to put down some of that spilled milk path. We did use them on our last island carousel, if you were here for that, if you remember that. I absolutely adore this. I think that it's so freaking fun with the little cereal pieces inside of them. I think that it's so colorful, and once again, I don't know if it's just the neutral brown of the wooden path, but it just contrasts so freaking nicely, and I absolutely love it. Once again, this will also be, you know, linked down below, or not linked down below, but I'll put the creator codes for all of these. And I absolutely love these little ornaments as well. I just love all of this, and I am going to be using, once again, me saying once again a billion times here. But here's some reindeer that are kudos. So these are some of the things that I did say that I was going to be using. These are some of her designs that I didn't know were hers, but they just, oh my gosh, look at them. They're so perfect for kidcore. I just absolutely love it. And this just made for a really perfect path. This is one of my favorite things to do in this game. I think it's just layering up the path. I just think that it brings that festivity once again to the, you know, to the build that I wouldn't think that it would have otherwise. So I'm just really excited for this. I love it. And yeah. And here I'm just putting some fencing around the little porch area. So I will be putting more fencing down. I kind of wanted to make it look like the railings of the porch, but I wanted to put some furniture down first before I completed and closed that off. So I'm just adding some sleighs and a little bit ornament tree and things like that that I think are super freaking fun. I love this storefront furniture. I think that it adds a little cozy element to the house. I mean, look at it. It's perfect. I just wish that we could sit in it. Wouldn't that be so fun? But unfortunately we can't. But yeah, so here I am putting like the storage shed for me and things like that, just to show that it's lived in, to show Santa's living here with Mrs. Claus and everything. I don't know, so I'm just decorating it up and just making it look a little bit more homey. So I've always had this idea where I branch off the lights. I usually do it on an elevated surface, and how I do that is I just like kind of like build a piece of terraforming that branches out, and then I put the lights on them. But because this is not elevated, I'm doing it by just putting a little piece on the outside of the pathing. And I don't know, I just really, really love the look of this, and it also creates room to put other things, which we will be putting a lot of other things on the pathway, so we do need that room. But I don't know, I just really, really adore the look of it. So that's just what I'm doing here. And as you can see, the giant ornaments do find use on this on this build, which of course I was going to. I absolutely adore them. I think they're beautiful. Like, look at them. They're so grand. They're perfect for Christmas. That's one of my favorite items, actually, from the 2.0 collection. I just think that that is one of the best things ever. Like, I love the Halloween editions, but the Christmas editions are just so freaking pretty, like the ornament garland. I was gonna use them on this build, but I just didn't really know where to put them, so I ended up leaving them out. But the giant ornaments are enough. I love them. And then we're going to be putting toys and everything. But because this is a resort as well, I did want to have it look a little bit landscaped. So we're going to be putting some trees and some nature around. Not anything too crazy. We're not going to be putting any flowers or anything, just because I feel like I would have to make those look a little bit more landscaped, and I don't really know how to do that for this little portion, so I'm not going to. But just adding those different dynamics of tree sizes and things around the little build looks really, really nice, and I really, really love that, because I actually haven't done it before in another build, I don't think. So here I just planted some and just tried the different sizes, and I really, really love how it turned out. Nothing too flashy, nothing too crazy, but just add a little bit of that nature aspect that I just love in my builds. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing here, just placing them around, getting a feel for it, putting some holly bushes, which I think are beautiful. I absolutely love them so freaking much. They're one of my favorite bushes. So I'm really excited to use them, and so that's just what I'm doing here. These glowing moss stools are absolutely beautiful. So shout out to Melissa Verse, because I've watched a few of her speed builds and she does use these around her island, and she she called them little gumdrops, and since then I've absolutely adored them. I would have never thought of that, but she put that in my mind, and I really love them. So I just put a few around, that way my villagers can sit there if they want. I love to see them interact with things. But so here I'm putting some little custom designs on top of the wooden pathing near his house. I thought it looked a little bit too plain, but I don't know how I feel about it now. I think that it looks a little bit random, kind of patchy. I don't know, I think it looks kind of weird, so I might change that later on. But I just thought I would add something so it didn't look so, I don't know. I was like, it's Santa's house, isn't it supposed to look a little bit more festive? So I thought I would try, but I don't know, it's just kind of weird. But these are the doors that I was talking about earlier, where I wanted it to look like it was a door opened up to lead into his house. I might change that as well, just because I feel like it's not covered enough. Or maybe I'll put something to cover it around it, because you can clearly see that it's just and it's not an actual door, because you can see the cliff behind it. I don't know, but I tried. I'm putting some toys around. I absolutely love this, by the way. Putting a bunch of toys around is so freaking fun for me, because so the villagers are one of my favorite aspects about this game. So I mean, I love seeing them walk around, but I also love seeing them interact with things. So just having all of these toys around, especially the little helicopter where they click on it and it flies up, is so freaking cute to me. So I'm just putting a bunch of that stuff to show that you're going to somewhere nice. You're going to Santa's house, all of the toys are spread out, and I just am really happy with this. This is also what I did on our last island carousel. I just think that the little layered look with the busyness and everything of all the toys just looks so nice. And here I am just closing off the porch, and I really do think it looks like a porch, so applause to me. I think I just love a lot about this build. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing, just finishing it off, just adding these elements to it, and I am really happy with how it came out. I did have to move some things around, but it's no biggie. It came out really nice, and regardless, we still got to fit all of the furniture that we wanted to, so I'm just really happy with this. So yeah. Now here's where I start to actually surround the entire thing with water to give that illusion that it's a tiny little island for itself. So I'm just kind of mapping it out, just kind of, you know, cutting it out, and I really love it. So when I was going around the trees, I made sure that the edges were kind of angled. I didn't want them to look too perfect. I wanted them to look like their own little islands, so I just kind of, you know, carved them out, and I really love the way that it looks. For this section though, I did leave a huge chunk of it uncovered, just because, so when I do the neighborhood later on, I am going to be having some of it elevated, so I wanted to make sure I had enough room for that, or maybe not. I don't know if that section's going to be elevated or not, but I did want to have the illusion that there were little islands of buildings everywhere, and that's one of the little sections where I wanted to put it, so I did leave that blank. But by the way, Nana asked to move out yesterday, so she will be leaving, and I will be villager hunting off camera to see who I could find to take her place. But yeah, so I let her call me Sea Beans as her little goodbye present, because I felt bad, but which is funny, because fun fact, in real life my nickname is Beans, so I guess she's not too far off. But yeah, so I'm just carving out the entire island and giving it the element of it being separated from everything else. I end up extending the pathway that leads into it right here, just because I wanted to make the water a little bit thicker around it, just because there are obviously going to be pathways that lead up to it. So I wanted to make everything look a little bit more separated and just, I don't know, once again, give that illusion that it's own little island. So yeah, so that's just all I'm doing here. When I was doing this portion, so it didn't line up the way that I wanted it to. So for the resort, I wanted it to look a little bit more clean cut. So I wanted it to look like an actual little square, as if like I don't know, like it was landscaped that way. So I had to move everything to the left a little bit so it was more perfectly straight. But I did map out a little piece where I could put some more trees and things like that right here, just because I felt like it was missing that nature aspect. So I am just cutting that out and leaving enough room for a tree or so to fit there. And here I am just putting it in, which I really, really love these small trees, by the way. I just think that they're so nice, and they just... I don't know, I just love the dynamics of using different size trees once again. I've never used them before, but I think it turns out really, really nice. And I so can't wait for these large cedar trees to actually get the illuminated lights on them, or what are they called? The string lights. So it's gonna look so festive, and I'm so excited once it's all complete. But yeah. So I'm just finishing it up, carving it out, doing whatever I need to do, putting some more holly bushes, a little bit more furniture if I need to, just finishing it off. And voila guys, here's the house. This is with it all complete. So I wanted to try a different kind of point of view since we got the new camera angles. I don't know how I feel about it, you guys can let me know. But so here's me just walking through it, kind of like a first person point of view. I don't think that it shows everything off that I wanted it to. Once again, I just wanted to try something new. But look at all the toys, and I love that it's snowing. See the door? That's why I want to maybe redo it, because like you can clearly see the cliff behind it. It's kind of ugly, but we're just going with it for now. But yeah, so that is it. I am once again very happy with it. I just think it's fun. I will possibly do some changes off camera, which also I am noticing that I need to move this right here, my little mailbox, because obviously it doesn't fit right there. But yeah, so I might do a little bit of changes, just a little bit of tweaking, but overall I'm very, very happy with this build. I think it's very sweet and very kiddish, but also has those little bit of mature elements with the trees and just the wooden pathway and everything. So, and I seriously had so much fun, especially since we haven't done a speed build in quite some time since our last since our last island, which was weeks ago. Sorry about that, by the way. But we will be doing more speed builds because obviously I need to pick up the pace because Christmas is literally in like 2 weeks. Like, what the heck? But yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Give it a like if you enjoyed or if you were inspired. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a lovely day, morning, or night. And I will see you guys on the next one, of course. Bye, guys.